think I'm so excited about just a new opportunity, I think, about what New York is trying to build and trying to do there. I really loved my time in Seattle, and I think I tried to make the most of that opportunity to really develop and grow. And obviously, I did that, I think, within a role that they had for me there, which was, really exciting. It was a role that was a part of two championships, so it's something I'm incredibly grateful for. I think I'm at a stage now where I'm excited about the opportunity to grow into a larger role, I hope. So whether or not that off the bench or not to be seen, it's something that I'll continue to work, and to develop towards. But I think hopefully just yeah, I don't know whether it's just a greater presence and a greater role within the offense, within the systems, whether it's just maybe a more consistent role as well, game to game, but definitely just looking to, I think, expand what I can do and how I can contribute, obviously with the shooting, but hopefully more facilitating, creating those kinds of things too. And yeah, hopefully, I can be a part of this group that's really gonna, yeah, just be on the rise again for New York, for the Liberty.
You and Natasha Howard managed to win a couple of championships together for the Seattle Storm. Now you have a chance to actually bring that championship experience to New York Liberty. How does it feel to do that alongside playing with Sabrina Ionescu this coming season?
Yeah, I'm obviously really excited to get to continue to play with Natasha. She's such a special player. I really have enjoyed just being teammates with her the last couple of years. And yeah, I'm thrilled to get an opportunity to play with Sabrina. I'm a huge fan of hers. I have been for some time since she was at Oregon. And obviously, she didn't really get the opportunity last year to do what everyone was, really excited to see her do her first season. So I'm really excited. I know she's a competitor. I know she is a workhorse, and obviously she's incredibly talented as well. So I think I'm really excited as a shooter to play again with someone. I've been very fortunate in my WNBA career so far to play with people like Sue Bird, and I'm really excited to again get an opportunity to play with someone that is just really uniquely gifted at creating for others, about making the right pass, the right decisions with the ball, finding people, setting people up to be successful. So I'm really excited about that, and just excited to see her as well get a chance to really play this year.
Next, we have Jeff Magliochetti.
Sammy, hi. Welcome to New York. Jeff Magliochetti here with Empire Sports Media, Nets Republic, and Winsider. Thank you for joining us today. From the opponent's perspective, what was it like to, what were the impressions of the New York Liberty, and how can you add to what they're trying to build over here?
I think this last year they were, in my opinion, just very hardworking, blue collar. They had a lot of energy, and they were just tough. They competed. They seemed to be on the same page. And I just think you could tell that they were really taking steps in the right direction culturally and all of those things. So I think hopefully adding some of the things that, some of the pieces and players that we have added this year with Benija and Natasha, hopefully me as well, can really just continue to push it in that direction. Obviously getting Sabrina back healthy and playing will be huge, but I think the pieces that you've seen them add, we're all sort of that makeup as well. That's in our DNA. We're hard workers. We're blue collar. We compete. And I think that that's going to be probably the makeup of this team, the DNA of this team. And I think that that's really exciting. It's exciting for me to be a part of a team like that, where we're all just coming together and, we're just every single game, we're going to be out there fighting, battling, competing. And then obviously I think, you'll see players like Benija and Natasha really take that next step as well, which you've seen them do these last few years with larger opportunities. So I imagine that with an even larger opportunity, hopefully in New York, you'll just see even greater strides and even greater steps forward in their game too, which is really exciting.
Awesome. And to follow up real quick, Rebecca Allen actually spoke the world of you during the last time you guys faced off in Barclay. So what's it like to work with her? Or how excited are you?
I love Beck. I'm really, really thrilled about getting a chance to play with her for more than just at an Opals camp or anywhere else. So I'm thrilled that she's going to be there. She's such a great player, but she's also just a wonderful person and teammate. And I've loved seeing her development over the last few years as well. And she's, I think, someone that is primed to play a huge role this year as well in the upcoming season. And I'm really excited about it.
Terrific. Thank you, Sami. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Howard Megdal.
Hey, Sami, great to see you.
Hey,
again.
Howard.
Welcome to New York-ish, once you get here.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
I have a couple if I could. One is more off the court and the other is more of your on-court role. So with off the court, you and I remember speaking a few years ago about the fact that you were one of the most contractually undervalued players, and another way of putting that is that you were one of the most underpaid players in this league. And so to be able to go from a new CBA that automatically raised salary to being able to, in a lot of ways this offseason, author your own story and take your skill set and be able to figure out what you want to do with your career. I just wonder what that meant for you psychologically, what it meant intellectually at a moment that obviously so much has been changing for you off the court.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible, I think, to be a part of the league during a time when a player like me can do that. And lots of players are able to do that now. And so it's pretty special. It's something obviously that, throughout my career, I haven't really been in opportunities to necessarily make a lot of money. But it isn't exactly why you play, but it is at the same time, it's still our job. So I think to now be in a position to maybe capitalize on that and how well the league is doing in terms of this new CBA is really exciting. I take a lot of pride in this opportunity that I'm going to be having. Something I've worked for, but it's something that I'm still working for and that I'll continue to work really hard for every day. Those would have been your words, not mine, saying that I was undervalued or underpaid, but I'm constantly trying to get better and to be of value with whatever team I'm at. So going to New York, I want to be as, valuable and opportunistic with this opportunity and make the most of it. So hopefully I will be as valuable as they have deemed me. And that is the plan, obviously. But yeah, it's really exciting that I'm in this position and I am able to now, after so many years, be valued at more than I've ever really been.
The Liberty, obviously, they were a young team. They were a team of shooters, but not necessarily shot makers. And so what is your philosophy when you're in a situation and the team just isn't making shots? How do you sort of get around that and stay competitive in a game? And especially you're going to be in a situation with a lot of younger people around you.
Yeah, I mean, I think every team, even great shooting teams, I'll speak from experience, just in Seattle, I think I've played with some phenomenal shooters there, and even we would have games where shots aren't falling. So I suppose it depends on if it's just within a game or if it's sort of a trend throughout the season. But I think, shooters shoot. And I think in this league, most of the women are pretty great shooters. So it's just a case of, I think, we have to remain, I think, confident in each other. And I think we have to be confident in ourselves. And I think the issue for me with shooting and missing or making is the shot quality, right? So are the shots good shots? Are they within our offensive schemes? Are they the shots we're trying to get? So I think if the answer to that is yes, then, I think you can live with having an off shooting night. I think if the answer is no, well, then that's probably what needs to be addressed. Why are we shooting shots that aren't good shots? Why are we shooting shots that aren't within maybe the offensive schemes? And I think that can be a way to hopefully, you know, maybe help our shooting percentages if we aren't shooting well. But, you know, I think, like I said, we're going to be a team that's going to be in the gym. We're going to be, I know a lot of these players on the team, on the roster, and they're all hard workers. They're all gym rats. So I doubt that it'll be a case of us just missing shots. If anything, it'll just be about, you know, getting a bit of rhythm together, making sure that we're getting good looks for each other. But again, looking at the roster, particularly led by Leja and Sabrina, I think we're gonna be able to get a lot of good looks. I think we're gonna be running the things that we need to be running and executing properly with them kind of leading us. So I don't sort of imagine that that's going to be maybe as much of an issue this year. Again, just with the players that you speak of being young, they're going to be, you know, another year sort of on and more experience. And I think they'll have learned a lot from last year. And hopefully that's, you know, if that happens, it's kind of a one game sort of scenario, and we can push through it because we'll be defensive minded as well.
Right. Wow. And to follow up, Walt has called you, Natasha, and Benijah self-starters in this league, and you've used the word blue collar quite a bit. So how do you think that, you know, the person that you are and your career sort of represents what the fabric of New York is? And how do you take that in introducing yourself to getting to know the Brooklyn and New York community?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you just look at, I guess, the path that I've taken to the WNBA and just my career in general, it's taken me a long time. It's probably not one that, you know, you sort of map out for yourself. Playing overseas for as long as I did without any sort of interest in WNBA after, you know, one tryout fresh out of college, you know, is probably not how you'd write it up for someone to eventually go on and win, you know, or be a part of a team that wins WNBA championships. So I guess in that regard, yeah, you could say we're whatever the phrase exactly was that you said about self-made or whatever it was. But yeah, I think you can say it about Benijah as well. I mean, she's in her I don't know the exact year that she's been in the league now, but she's been around for a little bit, and she's, you know, worked her butt off to get most improved player. You know, she's gone from smaller roles on teams where she's worked really hard and been a really valuable piece to getting a big opportunity in Atlanta and capitalizing and making the most of it because she's worked really hard and stayed ready for that. Natasha, obviously, in mini was on kind of a lesser role, limited in terms of that, and then comes to Seattle, and because she's worked really hard, because she's a fantastic player, makes the most of that. So I think that's what you see with all of us is our passion for the game. We love it, and we want to continue to get better. And I think, you know, we're just trying to make the most of those opportunities. So I guess in that regard, that's hopefully what you'll see in New York. You'll see us making the most of this new opportunity that we're all really excited about, coming together, working really hard, and hopefully creating this culture and this DNA that is all about that, working hard together, hopefully winning. But I think that's kind of the brand that you'll see.
Great. Thank you.